Hey guys, it's been a long time. I had COVID. Um, got diagnosed on Christmas. I was working on a video, and the devil actually attacked my phone with the video that I made when I was in the hospital to testify. My voice is kind of shake because I still I'm oxygen. I'm still on oxygen and still taking the medication. But I just wanted to say, hey guys, I'm still alive, and wanted to share my testimony with you. Somebody else needs to hear this about COVID-19. Guys, it was hard at the hospital. It was hard at the hospital because I literally felt like they set me up to die. It got to a point that I was in so much pain and I had to call 911. But what's crazy is I got to see the hearts of men, like when the ambulance was on its way, the firefighters came. But they had asked me to sit down. I said, dude, my ribs are on fire. I can't sit down. I mean, I can barely even talk to you. Can't you tell? Like, I'm gasping for air. And it seemed like it was a real test of fate. It was a real test. Because if it wasn't for God, I would have quit. If it wasn't for God, I would have. The stuff I had to go through besides the COVID, just meeting the nurses and, the on and off switch of people's emotions, like, it was overwhelming because you don't have anybody telling you it's going to be okay, and you just have you and God, you and your faith. And I hope that whoever's listening, you believe, because if you don't have a support system, it's going to take you under. It's going to dang near kill you. And the stuff I had to go through, it got to a point where I needed IV. I was so dehydrated because for the past, 2 weeks before, prior to when I went to the hospital, I was dehydrated. My hands were shriveled up like raisins, man. It was deep. And also, the hospital said it was full, but when I looked around, there was so many empty beds, it wasn't even funny. They put me in the back. It felt like a secluded area, not like to the point that it felt like they were, neglecting me. They didn't want to give me, it seemed like they weren't rushing to give me any type of painkillers or anything for the pain, because my ribs, something was wrong with my ribs. I couldn't breathe and they were stabbing me. I thought they were broken. That's how bad the pain was. So, me and my husband suffered a miscarriage, and this is TMI, but I was still bleeding from that. So, I was very weak, if that's what I'm trying to say. I was very weak, so I have no, water. I have limited water, and, pretty much, the more blood you lose, the more, less energy you have. So I have a lot of things going on. I'm getting stabbed in my ribs, I'm still having the side effects of the miscarriage. There's a lot. And when I got to the hospital, there was plenty of room, but they acted like they couldn't do anything. But the thing that got me the most is that when I really felt like I was going to give up, but if it wasn't for God, man, I don't even know how to tell you, man. If it wasn't for God, man, because I was literally screaming. Like, it was so painful, man. This was so painful. I was screaming, help me, help me. And nobody came. The nurse that I had, it seemed like she was from the devil, because I ain't even trying to play, man. It seemed like she was from the devil, because when she looked at me, her eyes were bloodshot red, like she had got pepper spray. And, you just see the mask in her eyes. And I was thinking, what's wrong with her? Did she just cry or nothing? But every time I asked her for something, it was like she was taking her sweet time. And I'm telling you, it felt like somebody was stabbing me, just stabbing me and stabbing me, to the point that I didn't even want to breathe anymore. It was that painful. You know what I'm saying? With all the CAT scans and all the, tests they were doing, it was pretty crazy. And then I had to go to the bathroom. Nobody was available, man. I ended up peeing on myself. That's very embarrassing, but I am just peeing on myself. You know what I'm saying? In the process of actually trying to get out of the bed, she put the rail up so I couldn't get out. So at first I thought it was coming because she was trying to make sure, because they had to do several procedures, and I had a lot of heart problems. It was a lot of tightening in my heart area. My lungs had blood clots, so it was affecting my ribs, and it was affecting the lack of blood flow was affecting my feet. It was affecting my heart, and definitely my lungs. So it was really hard to breathe. It was hard to function. It was like my whole body was pretty much shutting down. I had to relearn how to walk slickly. I had a physical therapist help me. It's kind of, it's intense. I got out and I had managed to pull myself up out of the bed and get to the bathroom, and I pressed that button, and it was like I asked God to please send me another nurse. And another nurse came and she helped me, and she ordered an IV for me and some pain medicine. That same nurse that was with the bloodshot eyes came in there, and I had managed to sit on the chair, that was the visitor chair. And the way she looked at me was like she was so pissed off at me. Mind you, before that happened for the bathroom, I had just taken the COVID test that night. And she told me that she had to put it in my nose. And it's long, like instant long. That thing is like, it's a marker. This thing was longer than this. And she was like, I'm putting it up your nose. And I was like, can you just, prepare me? Because I gotta get myself ready. That's like taking a shot in the butt. I gotta prepare myself mentally, you know what I'm saying? And the time that I was trying to, she already stuck it up my nose, and my mind literally went in defense mode, and I grabbed her wrist because I wasn't ready. I told her I was preparing myself. She didn't care. She got offended from that moment. I apologized and said, hey, you didn't respect the boundaries. I asked you to wait until I got it, because that's a lot of stick that you got put up me, on my nose. And she got mad. She said she wasn't offended, but from that moment when I was sitting on the chair, she actually told me that I could sit there, but I was like, no, I can't sit here. I feel like I'm dying, and I was. I could feel literally every breath that was coming out of my lungs. It was scary. It was so scary. I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna die, and this lady just said, well, and I said, can I have some medicine, please? She said, I just gave you some. I said, well, obviously it didn't work, ma'am. I didn't say that, but ma'am, it didn't work. It felt like somebody tranquilized me, and then I still had to go pee. It didn't do nothing. Obviously she didn't put enough, or she didn't care to. Then I said, can I just please have some medicine? She gave me this patch, like, that was on the side of, that you put on for smokers. It didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work, and I was in excruciating pain, to the point that when I asked her for some medicine, she just kind of said, what's the point of giving you some medicine if it doesn't work, in that tone directly. And everything in me was like, I didn't even have prayer. I didn't have nothing. I just kind of lost hope. And I said, ma'am, and that's when I realized, regardless of how much pain I'm in, even if I'm dying right now, she's not going to do nothing. And all I did was put my head down like, man, I don't want to die here. And I prayed to God, I said, God, please don't let me die here. please don't let me die here, because these people are gonna kill me, and it seems like they don't want me to live. They don't want me to live. I have no insurance. You know, I know it's put my business out there. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. And, you know, it was crazy, man. What I had to go through, it was like I had prayed. I was like, God, I got to go to the bathroom, and this lady's, it's like literally she's doing this on purpose. It's like she left me for dead. I'm screaming, help me, help me, help me. I mean, I'm crying. I'm like, because I'm in pain. I'm in pain. Like, it felt like somebody, for all the pregnant women, picture Braxton Hicks in your ribs. I mean, that's all I got to say. Times 10. It was like somebody was stabbing me, like, just stabbing. And then you can feel the knife, the stabbing pain. Well, I want you to get a visual of a knife. It was rubbing against my skin. On top of that, every breath, it was like a popping feeling. It was really painful. And I had to, besides that pain, I had to get out the bed. And I had to use my leg strength. It was like God was telling me, you gotta push through it. You gotta push through it. And, you know, God gave me strength I didn't think I had. But God delivered me. My heart rate started going up. You know, God sent me another nurse. You know, my heart rate started going up. My oxygen level started going up. My vitals were good, you know, and I ended up getting out there in 3 days. Amen. You know, I was put on oxygen and lung strengtheners, some type of steroid, and blood thinners to get the blood clots on. I'm still on those. And by the grace of God, I'm still alive. And by the grace of God, my family wasn't touched. And you know what's crazy? God even paid the bill. I have no bill. Wow, he's good. He's good. And I don't know how he's going to do it for you, but he's going to do it. If he did for me, he did for me. I didn't even think I was worthy of it. I just kind of, in a way, I thought it was my time. In a way, I thought, just at least take care of my family. You know, at least take care of my husband, at least take care of my daughter. Let them be okay. But God not only delivered me, but he delivered my family. God is good. God is good. Don't give up on him, because he could have let me die, because I literally felt that breath was my last, man. There was no comfort around me. There was no comfort in my body, man. I'm just so thankful that God came through, because I see so many people dying that I know. I see so many people get COVID and they think they're untouchable because it don't hit their house. I'm not saying I was one of them, but I thought I was doing everything that I need to do. I did the social distancing. We had Lysol. We bleached everything up. We were taking precautions, and me being at home, I work from home. I don't anymore, but since it's a slow season, I stay home with my child, and I still got infected. I'm not saying I'm for the vaccine. Let's get that straight. I'm not for the vaccine. I'm not no guinea pig. But I know that I believe in God. I feel like if God can deliver me through this, he can deliver me through anything. And this is how I want you to just know. You can get delivered. He's still working, man. He's still working. But it was God. Because it was seemed like every time I was praying, I was dealing with difficult nurses. It seemed like they were just there for me to die. They were trying to make me, and there's some that came, and I know they were sent by God. And they just even said an encouraging word and had talked about their faith and how you have to keep going and keep enduring and don't give up, because this is not the end. And I just want to encourage somebody that if you are dealing with COVID, keep praying. Anybody calls the name of Jesus will be saved. You have to believe with your whole heart, though. You can't partially believe. I mean, it takes a mustard seed of faith. But if you want healing, you gotta believe God. Man, I had to pray, God, don't let me die like this. Please don't let me die like this. Please don't let me die like this. Please don't let my family be affected. Please send the right people in my atmosphere. Because you don't want the wrong people to come your ear. You don't want the wrong people to call your phone. You don't want the wrong doctors. You don't want the wrong medicine. You don't want anything that's going to come and form, a weapon formed against you. It won't prosper. You see what I'm saying? But you don't want to deal with so many weapons before. It's a boiling point that you get to. I was going through so much drama outside and inside the hospital that it was overwhelming to the point. All I can do, I actually got so overwhelmed, I just put my head down because I didn't have nothing to say. This nurse, it seemed like she had so much of a bad day, so much stuff on her plate. I'm not going to vouch for her outside pain, but I can say this. It seems like my joy upset her demons. My hope upset her demons. And sometimes you'll go through something just because you're a light in that room. Sometimes you'll go through something just because, your faith. And it is a faith fight, my friend. And that's why I have to come and tell you, don't give up. It just got harder for us, It got to the point that I had to walk around with oxygen. I can breathe better now, a month and some change now. But the side effects of my family having to be quarantined and, nobody tells you what you have to go through after. They just tell you about getting it. Yeah, this pain, the side effects, they're not telling you about, loss of taste, loss of smell. I didn't even want to eat. I felt like I was starving myself. Everything tastes like nah. It was like nah. Even Dr. Pepper tastes nasty. It was everything that I usually eat. It was terrible. I felt like I was being ungrateful, but at the same time I was like, I can't eat this. I just put it to test. I said, maybe it's my cooking. Maybe I didn't put, sometimes you got to question your own cooking. Maybe I didn't put my foot down in this thing. So I ordered something. It was everything. It was outside, inside. People, ordered on Amazon. It was like, nah. Nothing was good. So you're going to go through a lot of symptoms, and it's going to be, I don't know which ones you have, or whoever has it, but I had a problem walking. I had a problem breathing. I still have an oxygen tank. They said for a few months. But just keep praying up and tell God to give you the strength, because God gave me the strength to keep going. He knew I had to take care of my family still. He knew, we don't have anybody. Nobody came to help us but God. Nobody. We asked several people, family, friends, whoever. We asked several people to watch our children. We'll watch my daughter, and nobody wanted to watch her. Just simple because they were worried about themselves more than, and I get that. You have to worry about, but then there comes a time where, it's a child. If I'd rather risk anything for a child. You know what I'm saying? And it's really sad, but at the end of the day, it's their choice, and that just showed me that you can't rely on anybody but God. I don't want you to give up. It's hard. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on because you don't know what's going on with it. You just like, hey, I shouldn't have COVID. And you're still in shock. You're still in shock that you have it. You're still in shock that your family has it. You're still in shock that you're dealing with this because you thought you were doing everything right. You were wearing the mask. You were social distancing. You know what I'm saying? You had everything going on. You had the germ killer. You were spraying Lysol like it was air freshener. Every time somebody coughed, you sprayed that spray. You know what I'm saying? And it still got it. Man, and that's why I was so shocked when I got it. But at the end of the day, that just shows you that God's a miracle worker, because I didn't die and I'm still here, and I'm thankful. Because I could have. Because like I said, it was set up for the death. It's like, I hate to say it, nobody wants to hear it, but it was kind of like they isolate you. And we are social creatures. And we could have had somebody speak to us and say, hey man, you don't need to die here. You got so much to live for. My friend, you got so much to live for. Don't give up. Yeah, you have COVID, but you need to fight. You need to have faith and you need to fight. You need to pray. If you can't speak because your tongue, it feels like, you lost your voice, you need to, look, it's mental. You're mental. You need to be strong-willed. You need to be stronger than this. You're stronger than this. I've seen you fight better. I've seen you fight worse. I've seen you take on so much more. You still have to be here. You still have to keep pushing. You still have to keep, every breath that you're taking is for a reason. People are counting on you, and you have to be that. So if it's not you that has it or not somebody else, you need to encourage them, because they don't need to hear about what are you going to do. They don't need to hear about who's going to watch your kids. They don't need to hear about your job is at stake or who's going to pay your bills. Nobody needs to hear that. They need to hear about faith. They need to hear about God and how God can help them. And these times, it just shows that a lot of people don't really care about themselves, but you have to show them that you care, not only about you, but you care about them. Love your neighbor as yourself. So if you're really trying to say you're a representation of God, if you're really trying to say that you're a good person, this is the time to show it now. Because this COVID, a lot of people don't think it's real until it hits their house. And I'm not saying I didn't think it was real, but to be honest with you, I thought I was doing everything right, but I still got it. If it wasn't for God, I would not be here. And if it wasn't for God, I would not be giving this message. If it wasn't for God, you know what I'm saying, that breath that you thought was your last at the hospital, that breath that you thought was going to kill you, would have. All right. I hope this helps somebody to stay encouraged and still fight, man. Don't give up. Don't stop. I mean, you don't know how God has this. The devil just trying to use this against you to test your faith. See if you're really loyal to God, and you just got to prove him otherwise. Submit to God and the devil will flee. Okay? All right, y'all. I love y'all. God loves you. And remember, God meets you halfway. Peace.